call the meeting to order. We'll start with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So this is the Sawyer Operations Authority meeting. This is March 12th, 7 p.m. We'll show that 3 members present are Jim Overmeyer, Michael Prokopovich, and Dave Rushford. And Bill has a work obligation this evening, and Joe Bugren and the company from Forsyth Township have a budget meeting this evening, so they are unable to attend here. So we will begin with public comment. One public person here.
I think wanted to say that the sled race went really well. We had about 100 people show up, and about 17 kids race, 3 adults race, and 5 teams. And had a really good time. Everybody had fun. There were no incidences. Forsyth Police sent Cassie Smith out to hand out trophies, and it was a good time.
Wonderful.
And then this Saturday at 1 p.m. meeting at the Victory Church parking lot. We're having a bunch of kids show up, and family, whoever wants to come, bring whatever instruments you have. And at 1 o'clock, we're going to march around the neighborhood, banging and making all our noise we can and stomping away the snow. We did last year and had a bunch of kids show, and so this year we're expecting even more kids.
So we're going to call it the Snow Stomp?
The Snow Stomp. It's the kids marching snow stomp.
Good plan. And I hope it works.
Then I have 2 other things. April 11th, we have the Easter egg hunt at the Victory Lutheran Church. We've got all the supplies and everything. You just need to bring your kids. And we have 2 different hunts, one for the tots, I think up to 4 years old, and then 5 and up for the other hunt. And we got cash prizes, candy, toys. Shannon Great House is providing snacks. And then April.
So what time does that start?
That starts 4 to 6.
Oh, it's the 11th, you said?
Yeah. And we will be meeting there, volunteers meeting there at 12 to set up. And then we have April 4th, we have the census event party at the 906 church. And it's a, well, why don't you tell him about that? Well, he's the chair of it. We are hosting a party with food, free food, and snacks and door prizes. You can win a flat screen TV and a bunch of other stuff. All you have to do is come in. You get a ticket when you watch a short presentation on why you should fill out the census, and then after that, you hold on to your ticket, use that to get your free meal, courtesy of Shannon Great House, and you use the number on that ticket as your drawing number for the door prizes.
And that's 1 to 4?
And that is 1 to 4. Yeah. And then
presentations at 2:30.
and I think that's all I got. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Ryan. Anything for you, Mr. Friendly?
No, sir.
All right. We'll move on to approval of the agenda.
I'll make a motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, the agenda is approved. Approval of minutes from the, it says January meeting, but I think it actually means February meeting. That's what we had.
We'll make a motion that we approve the minutes.
All right. Motion and support for approval of the minutes of the January meeting, or February meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. New business and discussion items. Item A, parking ordinance.
Billy's supposed to give me the size of the signs, which West Branch is going to buy them. So we're talking right now, I think eventually we're going to have the littler signs, but right now we're gonna buy the 3 bigger signs. I guess we need to determine the exact wording that needs to be on there. I think we're gonna have to separate of course, the no parking for the winter time, however we word that, and then how we word the parking.
Off-season, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. And then I think eventually down every street, we're gonna have to put the little no parking signs. The P with the circle or no parking.
And you're gonna change them out seasonally?
Seasonally? No, I think we're gonna just put the big signs up at the entrances. And then, because eventually I think people are gonna say, well, there's no sign there. There's no sign on
Doesn't apply to my
Google,
street, yeah.
or there's no sign on Commando.
How many streets do we have?
I don't know, and,
Lots.
we may not be able to buy them all in one year. They're about 30-some bucks $40 a
Mind
piece.
if I ask a question real quick? Are you gonna buy signs for the whole neighborhood, both Forsyth and West Branch side, or just West Branch side?
We are gonna supply the signs, the SOA is gonna supply the signs for the whole property.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
And then did you read the email regarding enforcement?
Yes, which is great news. As you all know, that I have always said, as far as West Branch was concerned, is the police force that writes, if Forsyth writes a parking ticket, they get all the monies for it. I think it should go right to the police department. I think I've said that several times.
But it appears that Forsyth will
Will enforce it.
enforce it throughout Sawyer.
And then at some point, I don't know if we'll have to get tickets at that, or they could just use their tickets.
I think there's still some question on that because the tickets, there are no tickets, I believe,
For West Branch.
for West Branch, but the tickets that Forsyth has currently are not weather resistant. So that herein lies the rub with that. So whether
So we may have to look into either buying or purchasing weather resistance envelope to put it in,
Right.
or
baggies,
however.
it's whatever it comes to.
Bill going to talk to the chief about that?
Right.
Yeah, we did discuss tickets,
Yeah.
and we were going to look in. They are expensive. We have to buy some zoning tickets to enforce our zoning laws in West Branch. So, they're quite expensive. So then, Bill was gonna see with the police, and I was gonna see with, what we could get with, at the time. I think Bill was gonna check with, magistrate too, if I remember right.
Seems like there's a little bit of a challenge right now with the county enforcing it in any way.
Well, they talked about the county. That was an email from Jim Waneke, and the MDOT's a lawyer. But as West Branch doesn't have a police force, the Marquette County Sheriff enforces our ordinances.
Right.
So I don't see where there's any difference in that.
We'll find out when they get done talking.
Yeah.
Right now, it doesn't look like they're wanting to play ball.
Well, as long as Forsyth plays ball, which this sounds like they're going to, we're in. And I've heard people say that people don't like the parking, but then we've had some people that own properties out here, especially tax side, come to the hall and they're happy that there's a parking ordinance.
Of course, we still haven't enforced it to its fullest because we have to inform
Right.
before we enforce.
But yeah, unfortunately, coming through the winter, it wasn't as bad as it was last winter. You know, and if that's all it took, and I'm okay if they don't write tickets.
Yeah, well, there were a few that still got plowed in.
Oh,
I
sure,
know there are a
sure.
couple of streets, right?
Yeah.
But it was nowhere, it was probably two-thirds more people last year than this last winter. I mean, so I'm okay with, I'm okay if the police don't have to write tickets.
I just want the streets clear.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm still of the opinion that, hey, we're trying to do this to create a situation where the plows can get through the streets and emergency vehicles can get through the streets. So if anyone has complaints about that, wants to discuss that, they're more than welcome to come here and bring also a solution to that problem.
Or email us.
Or email us, because this year I think was a lot better for plowing, from what I understand. So we're just trying to get to that point. So are we good on parking ordinance as far as the item? All right. The next was the Forsyth burning ordinance for all of Sawyer, adopting the Forsyth burning ordinance. And at the last meeting, we said we didn't really want to proceed with that until we had everyone here. Obviously, tonight we're even one more short than we were last month, so I think we're just going to have to push that one.
Right, we'll table that one.
To next month. Report of Sawyer Alliance meeting. Do we have any information from the Sawyer Alliance meeting? Was anyone there? I didn't. Were you there, Ryan?
You want to talk about the money deal we got?
I don't remember.
Our last Alliance meeting was we had a combination meeting. We had Marquette, the Health, not the Health Foundation, but the Community Foundation had sponsored a meet and greet several months back. They present their findings at our meeting Monday night, and the meeting went very well. We had good attendance, and the discussions were very, very energetic, which was a good sign all the way around. I would think that would be the highlights of the meeting. We wound up establishing 3 separate committees, one for recreation, one for transportation, and the third was housing. Those committees will be kicking off here shortly. The idea there is to look at each of those as a whole package, not individually, but put the whole package together. Working in conjunction not only with the folks in Sawyer, but also the surrounding communities. So looking at it as basically a Forsyth West Branch, Marquette County package. So more on that as we kick those off and go forward.
March 26th is our next meeting for the individual committees.
And then they are also having an event then, I believe, in the end of April. The Community Foundation, the one in
Yes.
Little Lake.
The Community Foundation received grant monies that they put in conjunction with the Marquette County planners as part of their master plan. So we're having a rally in what we call them, they call our section the Blueberry section of the county. We're having a rally here in the area at the Little Lake VFW. I always say
American
those
Legion.
confused. American Legion. I get those two confused. American Legion on the 26th. That rally is open to the public. It's open to anybody that wants to come. Start off at 6 o'clock. I believe the time frame is 6.
6 to 7:30.
6 to 7:30. The initial social, come in, get some food, talk to folks in the community, and then they'll be kicking off what their goal is and what they intend to do going forward as far as the master plan is concerned. They're looking for the community to come out and participate so that they get more ideas in terms of what we're looking at. The Blueberry area involves, if I recall, six different townships, so it won't be just our local area. We're expanding out in what I would call the southeast corner of the county will be involved in that event. So there'll be folks there that, I know from our area, we probably won't know who they are, and it's a good chance to meet some of our neighbors.
I can say that the foundation, at the conclusion of their portion, they did a presentation and so forth, and they were pretty excited about what was going on in KI Sawyer and the way people are coming together and the way events, obviously Ryan, the things that he's putting together for activities and so forth. So they were pretty impressed with what's going on.
Great.
Ryan didn't have much chance to sit down, he got appointed as chair of the recreation committee, so.
And
So, if you guys wanna come to the 26th meeting, that's fine, that's open for discussion as well. But the primary one is the one in April, because that'll be wrapped around the county master plan.
And then there was some discussion about the census
Yes.
event.
Yep.
Which is
So
coming up
there's a
on April
really,
4th.
really nice mix going on right now of people playing together in the same sandbox.
I'd seen on the email about the food truck. Was there any information, I thought it was at this last meeting,
We didn't discuss that one at this meeting.
okay.
Primarily because it was more about the results from the Marquette Community Foundation.
A document that I had seen a while back, maybe a month or two ago, was that they are still evaluating the needs for the food
Mhm.
truck and location and time of day. But they intend to work forward and see how they can best serve the community and best serve the co-op.
Yep.
Is that fair?
Yep.
Okay. When do they actually plan on starting the census?
April
For
1.
April
April
1st.
Okay.
That's the official national kickoff is April 1.
Okay.
Our event is 3 days later, just to let people know, hey, get involved.
Okay.
Dale wrote a grant
Yeah.
for the census, if you're not familiar with this, about $3,400,
$33.
$3,300 to inform Sawyer
Mhm.
the importance and the reason for the census.
Mhm.
And so it's a one-day event, and it's an opportunity, and we could even come from SOA and put up a little table and say, this is who we are if we wish.
Mhm.
It's open to anybody like that.
Mhm.
It's focused around the census, but it's an opportunity for our community to come together. The last census that was taken originally, help me,
2010, the initial count in Sawyer was 1,700. Somebody somewhere said these numbers aren't right, they recounted us in 2015, that number jumped to 3,000. So
Yeah, I know West Branch and Forsyth paid for new census.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the essence of what we're looking at this go around is to try to get people counted
Sure.
as soon as possible, so that
Mhm.
everybody's on board with it.
the more we can recoup from that census, the better off all of our communities are.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
this event, and then come back to the event just for a second, is not only for everybody in the area, because it's essential to get the word out to all of us.
Mhm.
Because the more we get counted, the better off we're gonna be.
Sure, or 3 townships,
Yep.
if you will. West Branch, SOA, and Forsyth.
Yep.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right.
Okay.
We don't have any communications this month. I believe Bill said there was nothing on the email as of
No.
earlier this week. So if we have no other business, we move on to public comment. Anything else? Public comment?
no, I think I'm good.
Okay. And just to note that the weather is pretty lousy tonight, and so I'm sure that's kept a few folks away. Board member comment. Tim?
I would like to thank Ryan for all he does. And and please come get your pop cans. It's filling it up, getting fuller and fuller every
I
day.
plan on getting out there this week. I don't have an address, so I don't know where to go. And every time I stopped at your office, it's closed.
Yeah.
But I'll get there this week. And it's at the transfer station.
Yes.
Okay.
which is off of 456, not 4, Carl's End Road, they call it. Instead of going left on 94 to go to Munising, you turn right. That's really what it is. Pretty simple to find. I can draw you a little map even tonight.
Okay.
Okay. I would just echo the same thing, Ryan. You've just done some great things for the area, for the community, and for the folks, and that's really wonderful. As far as SOA, I've been kind of sitting back and I just want to reiterate, this continues to be a learning process to kind of figure out what it is that we actually have the authority to do, and how we can benefit the community. I had an interesting conversation with someone who has been around quite a long time as well, and said, you know, it's a shame that 25 years ago the county didn't just set some money aside to support SOA. At the time when SOA was formed, it was the 2 townships trying to put money in to grow it. But I think looking back now at that in the rearview mirror, you can say, you know, if county had put some in and kept this going, we probably could have developed some sort of a government by now. That, you know, number one, obviously, everyone always says we should form its own township or its own entity or whatever. And the problem is you don't just step through the door and say, okay, today we're the new entity. How are you going to pay for your police, and how are you going to pay for everything that you have to do? You have to create, you know, the taxable unit and all those sorts of things. Over 25 years, we probably could have gotten to some point to do that. So I don't know if that's where this is going to end up, but I think that the community is a lot more organized now than it has been over this whole period of time. I think we've grown quite a lot as far as that goes. So I just hope that we can continue moving forward in a positive manner, and that's going to help develop everything that's going on out here for the betterment of everyone.
To follow up on that, I think the demographic of KI Sawyer from 25 years ago to now is changing greatly. From residents owning property. We're not having so many of them go under and being unattended. Excuse me, a willingness for some of the properties to clean them up, keep them clean, keep them nice, have some pride. We certainly have some businesses that we haven't had in the past. So I think that there's a sense of change. I think changing the media's perception is still something that, you know, certainly the things that Ryan's putting out there certainly helps. Having an opportunity to have the media come out at some of these events will maybe help, you know, and interview some people that are really kind of in the know will help. 25 years ago, it didn't get the traction that it got, and then, you know, a while back it got bad traction and slipped off the map. And so we are in a learning process, and having our own municipality, you know, as long as it's taking to get one or two things done here, we can see how that would be an incredible challenge. But I do believe that the SOA has a place. I think the SOA will do well as it goes on and as we learn, and with community input. You know, we've said this from day one, or it's been said since it was reestablished, that we need input. We help us to develop the operational structure that is best for the community. We can think maybe we know, but we don't always know.
Well, just to interrupt a second. I don't live out here. 4 of us don't live out here.
Right.
You know, so we need input from the community. If we're doing something wrong, tell me, you know, or something you don't like. You know, maybe we can work out a solution. Or if you want something, tell me. I'm just grasping that, putting it as I lived out here. If I lived out here, what would I want?
How do we tell you?
Call.
Phone number, email?
Yep,
The best thing is to do is call me at 360-5386.
or email us at,
yoursoa@gmail.com, yoursoa@gmail.com. But we do get the emails, and we do look at them, so we don't get very many, but I think over time, perhaps it'll grow.
Could I have I know this is kind of out of order, but can I have a
Yeah,
comment?
sure.
Something I failed to mention in public comment that fits right in with the direction of the SOA. There was a meeting in Gwinn last week from the business owners, in particular in the Gwinn area. The concept is to revive the concept of the Chamber of Commerce. But what they did in this particular meeting was they expanded the area to the Gwinn Area School District, which encompasses a lot more folks than what they had before. The meeting was quite exciting. There were 25 people at the table, a mix of business owners, residents, nonprofits. And I think that dovetailing in with what the SOA is doing and the activities that are going on in Sawyer, I think this is a good time. This is a good time. I think things are kicking off and really getting into a positive direction for everybody.
I didn't go to that meeting. I was part of the officers of the chamber as it was for many years, and I was extremely disappointed that we weren't able to keep that going. But at the time, I would go to a lot of the different more busy business owners throughout the community and say, hey, we need to get together. Nobody had time. And it's kind of like sometimes you just have to lose something to realize that you need something. And so by just shutting everything down, I think now we've got another generation that's come in and they're saying, gee, we really need to get together to. Number one, you're looking to attract business, but number two, you're looking to serve the community. And we're a different community than Negaunee or Ishpeming or any of the others around the county, but yet we're almost as big as Negaunee, population-wise. So I think that's going to be very important. Hopefully that group can get together. And
I think the biggest thing that I noticed sitting at the table was the lack of what I will call gray hairs sitting at the table.
Good.
There were quite a few young entrepreneurial type business people sitting at the table, as well as people that were spirited about getting this thing going. In regards to the next meeting, their next meeting is April the 1st at 6 o'clock at the Gwinn VFW. And that's open to anybody that wants to come.
That's April 1st, 6 p.m., Gwinn VFW.
Yes, thank you.
Very good. Thanks. All right, if we don't have anything else, our next meeting would be
April 9th.
April 9th, here at the school, hopefully, at 7 p.m. So again, we invite anyone to, if they have comments or things that they want to bring up, they're unable to come to the meeting, please do email us and at least give us your thoughts so that it's something that we can put on record. If we have nothing else, then we'll call the meeting adjourned. Thank you.